spent $100,000 to get taller and regrets it. Man, is that $100,000 in the drain? We're going to have to get into this video and find out what happened.
I spent $100,000 on limb lengthening surgery. They break your bones surgically, they cut them and they attach devices.
Being short as a guy can be brutal in today's world. As we live through the most shallow times in human history,
definitely are,
there is
man.
an entire ecosystem around making short guys feel very insecure about their lacking stature. And some of these guys are going to drastic measures just to gain a few extra inches.
I'm Denzel Siggers, I'm 27 years old, and I spent $100,000 on limb lengthening.
Man, that's a lot of money right there.
Put me under anesthesia so I was asleep.
And it doesn't even pass on genetically either. Like, you have kids, you have multiple sons, they all come out short, and they looking at their tall father like, yo, what happened? And, you know, they find out later on that they end up having, that their dad ended up having growth surgery. Now, that is crazy.
They break your bones surgically, they cut them and they attach devices that extend the bones over time. I remember this movie that came out in the 1990s of a similar situation that the guy in the movie had to do. So this has been around for a long time. Woke up,
just like all technologies.
I just asked myself 1,000,001 questions. I was like, why did I do this surgery? I regretted it. I shouldn't have done it. I'm in so much pain. I've never felt this kind of pain before. And is it really worth it? And I thought something was wrong because I didn't think it was normal to feel this amount of pain.
So yes,
it's
man,
not normal at all. What do you mean?
Original instincts were correct. It is not normal to feel that level of pain because he's not kidding, guys. To do this surgery, they have to surgically break your fucking femur in half, pull them apart, install a metal rod in between, and the height extends over time. If that sounds unbelievably painful, that's because it is. There's a reason he woke up and like immediately regretted it, because the pain you're in is excruciating.
But what was the conversation before you went through to this? Because I know that doctors had to tell you over and over and over again, this is going to be the most excruciating pain you have ever felt. God couldn't even imagine. I could, like, breaking your leg alone, going through that, but both your legs, and it's a constant thing because you have to ensure that your legs measure out to be the exact same length. Like, one leg can't be unbalanced. Are you screwed? They're gonna have to break the other one. You gotta wait a longer process in order for that one to heal out correctly, man. That just
lasts forever.
That's
but
unfortunate.
That's the least of it. The story gets even more shocking.
It was very shocking. It felt unreal to see it attach myself because I had never seen anything like this before. I was actually in a relationship prior to the surgery. Once I told her I wanted to go get surgery to get taller to boost my confidence, she was completely against it.
Yeah, I bet she was.
Ending the relationship, even though she was someone that made a lot of jokes about my height herself. So she hasn't seen me, but she's just seen like my social media, and she's been trying to call. She's been trying to make her way back, but that's somewhere I don't want to go back to.
Wow, this guy already had a loving relationship.
Man, I would have kept that on the tuck, though. I would have kept that in the tuck, deleted all my profile pictures. You know, after recovery, got back in the gym, made sure that I was good. Then, you know, I would have started playing sports. Would have got into basketball. Would have made a whole bunch of content circulating around that.
Friend was begging him, baby, please do not get this surgery. I already love you for who you are. And this guy said, yeah, that's cool, but I am getting absolutely cooked in these Instagram group photos. I am getting the goddamn surgery immediately. I don't care what you tell me.
Oh,
it's almost unreal. But it really goes to show, on a real note, how deep these insecurities can be baked into your psyche. He said it himself. Even his girlfriend, his closest person, was making jokes about
that's flawed right there. I'd have to cut it off. One short joke, dead. I stand, what, 6'1"? Thank God.
height. Could you imagine a lifetime of everybody making jokes about this one attribute you cannot change? Yeah, that would fucking suck. And now it begs the question, is his life better after the surgery? Let's take a look.
Today I'm actually going on a date for the first time since I've had my surgery. So it'll be my first date at 6 foot.
Why is he walking like
I'm very
that?
excited.
Hold up, 6 what?
Surgery. So it'll be my first date at 6 foot.
6
I'm
foot.
very excited.
That's it. I would have been like, yo, 6'1", maybe 6'3".
Version of me, like, see how he interacts with the world, see how he interacts on a date. In the world we live in, we say don't judge a book by its cover, but obviously people are judged off their appearance first. But I do feel like once I get back into dating, my personality will be what carries me in a relationship.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong. The society we live in has a lot of artificial standards, and it has ever since modeling became a giant industry. But when you just got an expensive surgery to to increase your height to improve what people
But
think
you were
about
walking
you
like
can't
that though.
around and claim that your personality is going to carry you when it was doing that in your last relationship, but you still decided to inflate superficial metrics about yourself to come off as more conventionally sexy. And nothing wrong with that. You know, we all want to look good, but just don't pretend this move was any less superficial than it
You
was.
could honestly make yourself taller without doing this surgery here. You gotta just stretch. Like that is it. You're honestly probably getting a few centimeters, but it's better than doing this. It's better than the stretching. And let's say the pull-up bar at the gym, you just have your arms up and you just hanging. Like just letting your spine decompress. That's all it is.
It's actually a very fun first date. I didn't expect to have as much fun as I did. I thought it would be a little bit more nerves or something, but everything went great. It was very fun time, very beautiful girl. It was nice to step out in the world with a lot more confidence than before.
Did you let her know about the surgery though?
Not wondering what she's thinking, but really just be who you are.
Now, my question is, what happens when she finds out that you got surgery to become taller and aren't authentically 6 feet? And also, what are your future kids going to think of this? Because they are not going to inherit the surgery or the height.
Not at
Are
all.
they going to inherit the insecurity that led to the surgery? Are they going to learn that your value as a man depends on your height? But hey, if her genetics clutch up and she has some tall uncle somewhere to bless your kids with height, no harm, no foul. You may have actually just beaten the short guy curse.
The world is a much different place now that I'm taller. People smile at me everywhere I go. I've never had this kind of like reaction from people before, and I really enjoy it. I've always been very unhappy with my height pretty much my entire life. I realized I was short around 15 years old, and ever since then it's kind of weighed on me. I tried a lot of different things to make me taller.
Like the only way you can't be short is you gotta cut all your tall friends off. Like that's the only way you won't feel it. Like you go to the club with your homies, they taller than you, 6 foot. That's when everything drops. That's when all insecurities come in. You like, they getting the girl, they getting looked at, and you just a little guy dangling their feet at the bar. So let me stop messing, man. Hey, man, short king's winning.
Appear taller, such as spinal decompression, put insoles in my
Hold
shoes.
up, what was that?
Taller, or at least appear taller, such as spinal decompression.
I mentioned
put
that.
Insoles in my shoes, inversion tables, and they would only give me about an inch more. Seeing
They give you an inch. Yeah, I said a few centimeters, but they give you an inch, man.
how the world reacts to me at 6 foot rather than
Gave him an inch, but
5'5".
he for sure took a mile.
Very amazing experience for me.
And what's crazy about everything he mentioned, almost none of it is new. There is a giant industry around monetizing short guys' insecurities. Those shoe lifts he mentioned, yeah, that's been an exploding industry since the 90s. There were TV programs documenting how people would become multi-millionaires just by selling these ridiculous shoes and slippers that had heels lifted so the guy wearing them would look just that much taller. And even then, it's still not enough. In the case of this guy, he had to do more. He had to get the surgery. And the surgery is not without risks. There are many problems that could arise, such as infections around rods and screws with the external fixator things that are stuck in your legs. If you don't clean them every day, your deep bones will be infected. Nerve damage, joint stiffness, reduced athletic ability. You could have leg deformities if the bones don't grow evenly with the rods. One leg could be longer than the other. You could, in some cases, have chronic pain that lasts years. And even if you are fine as a young man, who's to say that as you get older, 60, 70 years old, and your body starts deteriorating, that it won't break down quicker because of this fucking surgery? I haven't seen a single video of him walking properly. Walking into the first date, you could see his legs were stumbling a bit. Through this recovery TikTok he posted after the surgery, over 2 months he was still walking pretty awkwardly.
God damn, this dude over here walking like a penguin.
Ability is permanently reduced in some key areas. And look, I understand the want to get this surgery.
The
I
doctor's
mean, I
gonna
myself
pay
am
though, for
6'4",
sure.
and I'll admit, the world treats me way better because of it. People look up to me in public, literally. People move out of the fucking way when I'm coming through. But also, I know plenty of guys who are 5'3", 5'5", 5'7", who have all gotten way more bitches than I have
For sure.
my entire life. life. And that's not to put myself down. That's just to say being tall isn't the remedy that it's cracked up to be. I'd compare it to like driving a Lamborghini. Sure, it buys you good first impressions and maybe 30 seconds of discussion time, but your personality, your career, you had $100,000 to spend, and clearly you're doing well for yourself. That stuff is what's gonna unlock long-term fulfillment. Yeah, beauty standards are real, and they often fucking suck, but there are millions of people who fall outside of them who still go on to live happy lives. Social media, magazines, reality TV shows, these things can give you a certain picture of how the world works, but it's like looking at your reflection in a puddle on the ground. It'll capture like 50-60% of the image, but it leaves out the 40% of nuance that's critical for understanding the full picture of how the world works. I'm not saying TikToks that make fun of short guys aren't representative of a real problem, but to believe they represent every single woman in every single situation, I think that's flawed thinking. I don't think it's productive.
Do you need it? I don't believe that you guys do, but I'll catch you on the next video that I drop over here on the channel. Tune in, never tune out. Remember, every day you guys have a choice. Choose growth. It's ATM, and I'm signing out. Deuces.